Hey everyone. So I wanted to do a little bit of a bonus video here for the sculpting part where I show you how to actually go about making this pillar or anything really, this whatever you can apply this to whatever you're sculpting, look a bit like destroyed, like some of its parts fell off and stuff like that. And with the scene I'm building, it's pretty important because I'm trying to get that feel that it's some kind of ancient ruin. So I'm gonna try and demonstrate here how I approach this and how I actually do this kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna hide this a little so I can get to sculpting. And I would do this with clip curve usually. So just get the section that I feel like should be destroyed and then pretty much cut it. But let's cut it in a bit of an interesting way. When you click Alt twice, you can get another prompt for this clip. So let's do it like this. Okay, that created a weird result. Let's see. There we go. Oh, that's a pretty weird one. But we are getting rid of that anyways, so I'm just gonna clip up all of this around here. So something like so. Uh, not really sure why this is happening, but it's not gonna be a bother because we are trying to destroy it after all. So I wanna have one like coming from up here. So it like got that side off, torn off from it. And I'm gonna add another one in here. And this side seems a bit too safe. So I'm just gonna do like a big one in there. And now I want to have a bit of like something like that. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And now keep in mind, like this can happen in any sort of ways. You can even do a clip like this, and that can make sense as well. And we can do that. We can do any types of things, any types of damages you feel like they could be present at your sculpt. They probably could. Damage is actually quite fun to sculpt because technically you're just destroying the model you have already created. You're not doing much else. So I'm gonna keep it at what it is here. I might add like a clip here. And maybe I'm gonna clip like this part. Let's see. That seems fun. So basically now you would do what you did to all the rest of this, and I'm just gonna Dynamesh. Oh wait, I have a subdivision mode, so something could go wrong here. So let me just go to geometry, and I'm gonna delete the lower, and let's see if Dynamesh. Oh, Dynamesh is way too low here, so maybe even something like this. Yeah, that's fine for me. So now what I will do is just grab my trim smooth border, and I'm gonna get the square alpha there, and just chip away at it. Just get some more damage looking detail into it. Chip it as much as you can, just make it look like it's actually natural. So chip away and get some of that cool little detail here and there. So just go around the mesh, create some chip damage, like it has been worn down. Think about how something deteriorates. It like usually chips off at some weak points and whatnot. So just do that a little bit here and there, and you should be good to go. And then we can all, of course, do a little bit of detailing and all the other interesting stuff. So I'm just gonna do this real quick, and then we'll be right back. So this is kind of the main part done, and I have made it look like it has been chipped here and there, that various things have been done to it. So at this point in time, I either grab an edge polish and just polish some of these up, like so, or I do trim dynamic, or in most cases I do just both. Just kinda, I'm gonna get a square alpha here as well. So just kinda get in there, get some detail going and whatnot, especially the edges. Just make them feel a bit more stylized this way. Really like trim dynamic for this. And for like flatter faces, I usually use like edge polish to just kind of incorporate that. And also try and make it feel like it's actually part of the mesh, even though it has just been newly been added. Just try to kind of incorporate it in what you have already made. So that seems about right. I'm just gonna do this a little. Edge polish a bit here as well. Seems pretty fine to me. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna add a bit more damage. And I like doing that via cracks. So I'm just gonna add like a few of these. Maybe even like here. Who knows? Something like this gives off an interesting vibe, but I'm not gonna do that. Actually, I'm not quite a fan of this kind of overhang here. So I'm just gonna try and do something a bit more interesting and try sort of implementing it a bit more into the mesh itself. And let me try and grab this normal to here. There we go. That now looks some, that looks way better. Yep. And I'm gonna update the Dynamesh real quick. So we have a bit more geo. There we go. That, in my opinion at least, looks a bit better. That one looked a bit weird, that kind of weird overhang. And now we just try and do the very same. Just a bit of edge polish here and there. Not too much, but it does help quite a bit. There we go. So what we can do here, let's see. Some kind of alphas could be good here, definitely. So let's see how it looks from far away. That's quite an important one. Like some, um, just something to know that, hey, there's been some kind of cracking going on here. That's why it has gone off. That's why this part kind of clipped off and whatnot. So let's see. What can we do? We can do this one. Just the orb slash, pretty normal one. Just kind of give it some depth in terms of looks. It just gives that, hey, this has been destroyed look. And that's what I like. And to top it all off, we just use like a few of these alphas. Now you can see there's a bit of a weird normal here. So um, let's tend to it. And I'm gonna first try trim dynamic, because we don't want this kind of weirdness going on. We want this to go into one another, not just be like a place where they divide each other. Yeah, that looks about right. What else we can do is we can do this. I like to put my focal shift to like -50. And then we can have a little bit of fun to just kind of create these edges and whatnot. As you can see, this adds quite a lot. And the key here is varying the pen pressure. So I'm gonna lower the size of this even further. So just gonna have some fun here. Vary the pen pressure. It's really important if you want a good look. So just go in here and vary it, and there we go. We have completed a whole kind of crack in there. And now that looks a bit more realistic. We can even increase it, and then at some places just kind of dampen it a bit more, as you can see. That's pretty good looking. We can also just go over here, maybe add like one small one here. That looks a bit weird, so we'll just fix it up. There we go. That looks way, way better. And what I like is connecting these together, because most likely they kind of did actually make they actually make like one cohesive piece of cracks. It's not like one happen and then the other. And it's usually how my thought process goes, like, hey, this one created this one tried to make this one, and then they kind of connected up, and just makes things feel a slightly bit more realistic, and I like that. So I'm just gonna get here and then vary the pen pressure. That doesn't look right, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna get my trim dynamic out here and just gonna get a little bit of sculpting done on this edge and whatnot. As you can see, we can fill this a bit, sculpt it up a little bit. Same with some of these ones that we have created. Just create a little bit of variation of what we're actually doing here. There we go. A little bit just goes quite a long way. So don't be lazy to do this sort of stuff. Especially if this is a hero asset. So I'm just gonna smooth out sort of this part and create it a bit more interesting. And that should be it. The last thing I'm gonna do is just grab some rock detail and slap it on top. And I'm gonna do even this one, rock surface. And that just looks magnificent. I'm gonna even add like maybe one here. There we go. And that is it pretty much. So if I have my thing here, oh, I don't have it, it doesn't matter much, but you can see that we have destroyed a pillar, and that looks really, really amazing. And we can use this now in our scene. And basically every single process, when UV unwrapping, retopology, UV unwrap, texturing, and then importing into Unreal Engine, it goes the same way. Just you decimated, UV it, and it follows the same pattern from the last video. If you haven't seen that one, I'll link it down in the description so you can check it out. But sculpting some of these stuff is usually pretty simple, because it doesn't involve much doing, because you already have made a mesh, in most cases of course, and then you just have to kind of demolish it in cool ways. I like using clip curve for that. You can even try other stuff, but for me this is perfectly fine. Another cool idea you can do is if you go back to, like, let's go to pretty much the beginning of this. Let's see. So if we go like all the way here, what you can do is remember where you cut it, and then you can cut the other way around. And I will not do that now. So wait. And just create another piece that kind of has fallen off. You can do that as well, and that creates like a whole another level of storytelling. It's just an idea. I might not even do it in this scenario for my own thing, but it's just an idea you can think about and maybe do it. And basically that is it for this video. I hope you liked it, and check out the description if you haven't seen the first one, because in the first one I explained everything in thorough detail. So be sure to check it out. It's a very good video. I put in a lot of effort to make it. So I will see you in the next one then.